Why, hello again, 7th graders. Welcome back. We are doing the second side of your Pearl Times Writing brainstorming and planning sheet today. So I'm on the back. I already, have my brainstorm and I'm looking on the other side now. As I'm beginning, I'm going to remind you have three options on this paper. You can defend Steinbeck's statement, you can challenge it, or you can qualify. Remember, qualify is tough, so keep that in mind. You have to be able to choose a side you generally agree with, then in this one certain case disagree with, or generally disagree with, but in this one certain case agree with. So it's a lot tougher than just like, I think it's right and wrong, okay? This is going to be kind of the planning you can use on your timed writing, assuming you followed the directions and this paper never left the classroom, right? If it did, then we have a different issue we got to deal with. But hopefully you followed those instructions, in which case you'll get to use this on your exam. So of course we always want to start with our introduction. That's where essays begin, right? And we want to make sure it's broad to specific, right? And so we have our thesis here for that, don't we? Absolutely. Do keep in mind there is a quotation here. You probably need to put the quotation in there somewhere, guys. It's kind of a big deal and you got to embed it like you're supposed to, right? Okay. Your thesis has to answer the question, remember? So there is a question back here. Make sure you restate things enough that we know what you're talking about. Don't just say, it is or it isn't. That doesn't really make a sentence, does it? I mean, it makes a complete sentence, but it doesn't tell me enough for what we're doing here, okay? So that'll be your first step, is writing your thesis, and this is all about whether you defend, challenge, or qualify Steinbeck's statement, okay? Then you're going to move down into these body paragraphs. You'll see I've kind of bracketed them off for you. You could do that too if it helps you. So you'll need 2 topic sentences for your 2 body paragraphs, right? And the hardest thing to figure out here will be how to group the evidence you've chosen together. So it might be that you have a paragraph that's all evidence from history and a paragraph that's all evidence from literature. It might be that you think that Steinbeck is correct, but that's both a good and a bad thing. And so maybe you have a whole paragraph of examples of how it's good and a paragraph about how it's a bad thing. Or you're challenging it and saying the same thing, right? You have some freedom here, but it's going to take some time to think through how does it make sense to group my concrete details together. And you'll notice it says right here, you need at least 2 concrete details per paragraph, and you may not use more than 3. Okay, so you're limited to 2 or 3 concrete details. 1 will not cut it. Do not write 1. You need at least 2. Okay. And this is where you're gonna be flipping back and forth some, right? And that's okay. It'll be a little noisy in the room for a minute with paper flipping. We'll all make it through. Okay. So think about your topic sentences. What is it that you're trying to group together in this paragraph to make sense to either defend or challenge? And you could say something like, one reason why this is true or one reason why this Steinbeck statement isn't true is shown in literature, is exemplified in history, or however you would like to say it, okay? And then you're going to make some notes here. You'll see it says, do not write them out, okay? You can't write out the concrete details here. We're not writing the whole paper. This is just a planning sheet. So just make some key words to remind you of what it was you were going to talk about here for your examples. And then you'll go through the same process again with the topic sentence and your concrete details. Obviously, this isn't the whole paragraph, right? When it comes time to actually write, you'll flesh this out. You'll add your commentaries for each concrete detail. You'll add a closing sentence at the end of each paragraph. Those are all really important parts. This is just a plan, a skeleton kind of, that you can build on, that you can grow from when it comes time to sit and write the whole essay in class, okay? And then here at the end, conclusion paragraph specific to broad, idea. So just make some notes here about what you might say, okay? You will only have 1 class period to write this, so make sure that you are kind of fleshing out this plan as much as you are supposed to in class today. This will not leave the room, so you got to use your time well. If you find you would like some more time to work on this, you will need to return to my room at a time when there is no adult present. So in advisory, before school, those are good times. We will write the actual essay in class on Thursday, and so make sure that you are prepared to do that. You come in with your brain ready to go and everything. I'll pass these papers back out and you'll have the rest of class to work. If you receive extended time, I will look forward to seeing you either before school or in advisory. Those are the 2 times I will offer extended time. So plan for that, please. Please don't come to class and then say, no, I need to stay later because I haven't finished, because that will not be an option, okay? With that, get to writing, kiddos, right? Make sure you got your opinions happening here. Make sure it's clear what we're writing about. Make sure you've got concrete details that match your topic sentences and topic sentences that support your thesis statement. And I cannot wait to see what you got. Again, feel free to swing by in the morning or during advisory with questions if you've got them, okay? Bye, guys.